Hi everyone, and welcome to another video about video games with me, Rob, here on the Geek Show. And today we've got another site by Lunar Great Wall Studios, and it's published by Fish Eagle. Now, this is the first game from Lunar Great Wall Studios. They do have some DLC available for Another Site, and there is also a prequel story called Another Site Hodge's Journey, but we can talk more about that another time. Today, we're just focusing on the main game, which is Another Site, and it's a story about Catherine Kit Nightingale, who wakes up in an otherworldly environment with various cogwheels in the sky, as you can see. She doesn't know where she is, she doesn't know what's happened to her dad, who she was with, and she's basically trying to struggle through and figure out what the hell's going on.
Is anybody there?
Another Site is effectively a puzzle platformer. Now, it's a puzzle platformer with a bit of a difference, and we'll go into that in a bit. I personally found this a very intriguing proposition when I heard about it, and I have to be honest, it's a lot better than you might think. It's a bit like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons in that you have two characters who have to work together in order to solve various puzzles, various environmental puzzles, and move on to the next stage. It's not really a game about taking out enemies or anything like that. I mean, Catherine is, or Kit as we'll call her, is a young girl, and she has various things that limit her capabilities, which you'll find out in a second. Now, Hodge is the cat that you can see in front of you. Hodge is just a stray cat at first that meets Kit, and Kit has a problem with her eyes now because she fell and hit her head. So, you can see from there, it gives you an idea of what Kit's field of vision is in this game, and it's an interesting approach because you can see from just the camera now how the game's supposed to look, but now you'll see how it looks to Kit, because how it looks to her is very different. That bubble around her is her field of vision, that's all she can see. You'll see various bits of lighting and stuff like that in the distance based on electricity, and when there's noises and other lights that react with her field of vision, you have those multicolored effects. This seems to me like a cross between extreme nearsightedness and synesthesia a little bit.
Was that a dream?
When you meet with the cat, Hodge, you find that you can share kind of his field of vision as well and expand your field of vision a bit more. And that suggests that there is some kind of link between Hodge and Kit, which you'll find out more about later on in the game. I'm not going to spoil it. Suffice to say, Another Site is actually an intriguing game in that it basically gives you breadcrumbs with regards to the story, and I think that's one of the things that puzzle platformers in general are heavily reliant on. I like the fact that the developers have focused on telling the story through a series of increasingly complex and challenging environmental puzzles. It gives you something to sink your teeth into as you play the game, and you can play the game at your own pace. It's not really about solving puzzles within a certain time limit. The characters themselves, Kit is likeable enough from what you find out about playing her character. Hodge is a cat, and there are very few people who don't love cats. Some people might have issues with the character models or with the aesthetic that's been placed on the character models. Some people might think this is a bit too Alice in Wonderland for a game. Personally, I like it. In fact, I like it a lot, but then again, I am a big puzzle game fan. I think that Another Sight is a very interesting game, and I think it adopts a very interesting approach to puzzle platform games. It's not something I've seen before, and the approach taken limiting Kit's field of view and having to rely on a non-human character. In fact, not just a non-human character, but a character that is also severely limited. Hodge, for example, wouldn't be able to push this minecart, but having to rely on a character that is non-human and effectively very, very weak to assist in solving environmental puzzles, I think that was a stroke of genius. I take my hat off to Lunar Great Wall Studios. They've really put some thought into how they're going to make the game. They've really put thought into how the game is going to work, what sort of approach are they going to take, and I think they've made something that is actually kind of remarkable. I know that Lunar Great Wall Studios like to say that they're a super indie video games development company, taken from their website, and they're focused on creating and producing high-quality original titles for the global market. Again, reading from their website. But I will be honest, if this had appeared on the PS2, this would have been a hit game on the PS2. It's a sign of how times have changed. I personally think that Another Sight is a very interesting, very intriguing game, and I like the fact that the game highlights that a disability like nearsightedness, synesthesia, stuff like that, doesn't preclude you from having an adventure. I like that. And maybe that's not the sentiment that the developers were going for, but that's the sentiment I got from it. It is an adventure, it is a puzzle platformer, it is interesting, and okay, there are niggly issues with the game, but I'm happy to forgive those because it's just such an interesting game. It's available now on the PC, so if you get a chance, check it out. It's worth it. I guarantee you it's worth it. Let us know what you think about Another Sight in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I'm always interested in finding out what people think about games that we cover. Anyway, until the next video about a video game, I've been Rob. You can find me on various podcasts that we do on The Geek Show. And if you head over to thegeekshow.co.uk, you'll find all the other stuff that we do as well. Until next time, adios.
Was blinding. I mean, it was loud. How strange. If there are trains, that means I can't be far from the surface. Come on, let's find this exit once and for all. I'm sure things will go back to normal when I reach the surface. No more sounds and no more talking to cats who can understand what I'm saying. Hey! Hey, pussycat. Pussycat! Hey, puss! Hey! Well, I'm in better shape than I thought. This is the place, I think. My father thought bringing me down here would be educational. Ugh, he's so obsessed with his old stones. It would never have occurred to him to bring Mother flowers. No wonder she left him. Left us. Left me. I told him it was his fault. He was shocked, then angry, and I got angry too and left him with his beloved rocks. I ran off towards the sunlight. Then something collapsed inside me. Everything collapsed all around me, and I fell. And then you found me. I wish I hadn't said those hurtful things. I just want to say sorry. Where is he? I hope he's all right. You're a good listener, you know. Nobody ever listens to me. Where are you going? Come back! Let's wait together! Oh, please don't leave me! Oh, great. Not exactly the direction I was hoping for. Hey, pussycat! Hey, Puss. I wonder where this will take us. Looks like half of Tower Bridge. But what happened to the other half? Horrible smell! Have we ended up in London's sewers? Could you try squeezing under here? Don't worry, I'll keep it raised. All aboard.